Area 51 was such a closely held secret that the United States government refused to even admit it existed for decades. For most of its history, the base did not appear on any public map, and officials would not confirm a word about it, which only fueled endless speculation about what might be hidden there. The wall of silence finally cracked in 2013. That year, thanks to a records request filed back in 2005 by a researcher named Jeffrey Richelson, the CIA released a formerly classified history that openly named Area 51, described its activities, and even included a map. After more than half a century of official denial, the government had at last acknowledged the most famous secret base on the planet. Yet the document revealed something that disappointed the believers. The base's true purpose had nothing to do with aliens, and everything to do with some of the most advanced aircraft ever built. Area 51 was created in 1955 for a single, very earthly purpose: to secretly test a revolutionary spy plane. At the height of the tense rivalry between the United States and the Soviet Union, the CIA needed somewhere utterly remote to develop an aircraft called the U-2, designed to fly higher than anything else in the sky and photograph distant lands from the edge of space. A team scouting the Nevada desert spotted a dry lake bed called Groom Lake, perfectly isolated and hidden by mountains, and knew it was ideal. To make the barren outpost sound appealing to workers, the chief engineer nicknamed it Paradise Ranch. The U-2 first left the ground there in 1955. Flying at such extreme heights, it was often mistaken by people below for something unearthly, meaning this very spy plane was likely responsible for many of the earliest flying saucer reports in the region. Area 51 was home to an aircraft so advanced, it still sounds like science fiction today. After the U-2, engineers there developed an even more astonishing plane, a sleek reconnaissance jet known by the codename Oxcart. First flown at Groom Lake in 1962, it could reach speeds beyond 3 times the speed of sound, cruising at around 2,500 miles per hour at the very edge of the atmosphere. At that altitude, its pilots had to wear pressure suits, much like those worn by astronauts. Building it required inventing entirely new techniques, including ways to work with the tough metal titanium and special fuels able to survive the incredible heat. To this day, it remains one of the fastest aircraft ever flown. A plane that quick, glinting at the edge of space, was itself the kind of sight that could easily be mistaken for a visitor from another world. Area 51 is the secret birthplace of one of the most game-changing inventions in aviation, the stealth aircraft. In the 1970s, engineers at the base began testing a strange, angular demonstrator plane covered in flat surfaces designed to be nearly invisible to radar. The odd shape came from applying the mathematics of a Soviet physicist in a way no one had tried before. Those secret tests led directly to the famous F-117 Nighthawk, the first aircraft in the world able to slip through enemy skies almost undetected, which first flew from Groom Lake in 1981. It is easy to imagine what these bizarre, sharp-edged black planes looked like to any civilian who happened to glimpse one being tested over the desert at dusk. A craft unlike anything the public had ever seen, moving silently through the sky, was practically guaranteed to spark rumors of the unexplained. Area 51 hid a remarkable secret during the tense standoff of the 20th century. It was quietly flying enemy aircraft. Through a series of classified programs, the United States managed to get its hands on Soviet fighter jets, sometimes through pilots who switched sides and delivered their planes. These prized aircraft were spirited away to Groom Lake, where American pilots flew them again and again to learn exactly how they performed, probing their every strength and weakness. In the late 1960s, one such captured jet was put through more than 100 test flights over about 40 days. The knowledge gained helped shape elite pilot training schools that followed. Picture an unfamiliar foreign jet, bearing markings never meant to be seen over Nevada, streaking across the American desert. It is no wonder that anyone catching sight of such a thing might have believed they had witnessed something truly out of this world. Area 51 is served by its own secret airline, one that officially does not exist. Because the base is so isolated, thousands of workers need to be shuttled in and out every day, and they travel on a fleet of unmarked passenger planes, known only by the call sign Janet. These aircraft, painted plain white with a single red stripe, depart from a private, gated terminal at the Las Vegas airport that ordinary travelers walk right past without noticing. The planes carry over 1,000 workers back and forth, with the first flights landing before dawn. No signs advertise the service, and no tickets are sold to the public. Even the name's origin is uncertain, with some suggesting it was a nod to a commander's wife, and others joking it stands for just another non-existent terminal. It is a hidden commute in plain sight. Area 51's entire connection to aliens can be traced back to one man and one series of interviews in 1989. That year, a man named Bob Lazar appeared on a Las Vegas television station and made jaw-dropping claims. He said he had worked at a secret site near the base, where he had helped study alien spacecraft and a mysterious fuel he called Element 115. His story spread like wildfire and single-handedly transformed Area 51 into the world's UFO capital. There is a serious problem, however. Lazar's account has been widely discredited. The universities where he claimed to have earned degrees have no record of him. Key parts of his background could not be verified, and the element he described behaves nothing like the real Element 115 that scientists later created, which falls apart in a fraction of a second. His tale is compelling, but the evidence simply is not there. Area 51, one of the most famous names on Earth, has an origin that remains genuinely mysterious. For all the secrets that have been declassified about the base, no one can say for certain how it came to be called Area 51 in the first place. The most common explanation links it to an old numbering system used for the nearby nuclear testing grounds, where different zones were marked off by number. Yet, oddly, Area 51 does not actually fit neatly into that grid at all. Another theory suggests the number 51 was simply chosen because it was one the authorities were never likely to use for anything else. The base has carried other names too, including Dreamland, a call sign for its airspace, and the original Paradise Ranch. But the true story behind its most famous name has quietly slipped through the cracks of history. Area 51 became the center of an internet frenzy in 2019, when millions of people jokingly agreed to storm it. It began when a young man named Matty Roberts created a lighthearted online event with a cheeky title, suggesting that if enough people rushed the base at once, the authorities could not possibly stop them all from finally seeing the aliens. He meant it purely as a joke, but it spread with astonishing speed. More than 2 million people clicked to say they were going, and another 1.5 million marked themselves as interested. Officials grew concerned enough to prepare for huge crowds, and even the creator publicly urged people not to actually attempt it. In the end, only a small gathering of a few hundred curious visitors showed up near the gates to take photos. Nobody got in, but the base's legend had never been bigger.